I've been playing for a fair amount of time, let's say like 10 years, a little bit more than that. But seriously, with this band, I've been in Furnaze for 6-7 years now. And I always wanted to be in a metal band, but I wasn't allowed to because girls were supposed to do the nice stuff and behave well and not run around and headbang. And when I first came across Furnaze, I actually reviewed their first EP for an online mag, and I really loved it. And I never done this before, but I saw that there was a phone number on the back of the CD, and I phoned up, and this was Crimson. And I just wanted to know more about the band, and I flew to one of their gigs when they played in Germany somewhere, and I thought I really would like to play bass in something like this. And then Crimson decided the stuff wasn't going anywhere. He was living in Germany at the time. He wanted to move to England, so the band wasn't relocating with him. He asked me to join the band. And at first, hearing the stuff, I thought, well, I would love to. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to actually accomplish the technicalities of this work. And then I just went home and practiced really hard. And thinking of recording the second EP, I was playing bass on that. Thinking about this now seems so easy compared to this record, and I have to honestly say I've never ever in my life practiced as much as I did for this record. But Crimson assures me it's paid off. So. Yeah, I played in a fair amount of bands. I started off with country western. I was a singer actually, and guitarist. And then I really wanted to play electric guitar, and I worked on that, and I always got calls for bass playing, and I loved the bass because it's very close to the drums. And when I was 3 years old, I wanted to be a drummer, so that's how the history goes. I wasn't allowed to play drums, and then getting a bass, you're very locked in with the actual drums, and it makes the rhythm section. That's why I love playing the bass actually. Without the drums and the bass, there's no foundation to put anything on top. My basses, I've always been very traditional. For me, it's 4 strings, and it's a Fender jazz bass. And for the looks, I'm using a black one, of course. And it's great. I just love 4 strings. If you want to play 6 strings, you're a guitar player. I'm sure, yeah, of course there are some great bassists playing 6 strings or 5 even, but 4 strings is enough for me. Thank you very much. Especially at the speed of some of those songs that we play. 4 strings is more than enough for me. I think the fastest BPM track on our album is 210. Yes, it is 210. Although some that are 158 BPM, because they're in double time, they're actually even faster. And this is why we love to have Matt in our band, because there's not many that can actually play that. But I'm playing with fingers, like many metal bass players do nowadays. One of my heroes, Robert Trujillo, and he can do some amazing stuff with his fingers, and I work on that because I found that with a pick, if you get carried away on stage, you don't have the control. I have more control when my fingers are close to the actual string. And with the pick, you're not just playing your instrument on stage. It's not the kind of music where you just stand around stationary. You actually move your headbang, and I take my hat off to all these guys that do circular motion by playing these incredible riffs on their instrument. So having the fingers on the actual strings gives me more control over my playing. Basslines, Crimson has got very strong ideas on how the song should sound, and I'm absolutely fine with that. And the only time it comes to sometimes we clash a little bit, because what you can play on guitar is physically not possible on the bass. However, sometimes you just have to push yourself to achieve the unachievable, and it makes me a better player. And having a great drummer at the same time just challenges you to play better and become better and work harder And with the bass lines, they go very much with the guitar. You know, it's like my idea. I always loved Megadeth because their rhythm section is always that they play the same: the drums, the bass, the guitar, and it creates a extra tight feeling of the music, and I like that. And we play harmonies as well with our riffs and stuff, because we are 3-piece. So in the studio you can record 5 guitars if you want. If you play live, you have to be able to recreate that somehow. It doesn't have to sound the same, it should sound like a live performance and not like a studio thing, but you have to work out those things that he plays on guitar. Some of them can be played on the bass to make the sound full for a live performance. The more you play the stuff, you know, I've been in the band for 7 years now, you get to sort of become familiar with the process and Crimson's mind, because his time signatures are sometimes very odd, that, you know, sometimes takes me a while to get my head around. But the more you do it, the more you become familiar with it, and it becomes easier. Actually learning the songs becomes easier. I don't think that 7 years ago I could have played some of the stuff that we do now. So you're constantly growing, so constantly working on things and improving yourself. You never stand still. Business is now, with the internet, it has its advantages, because before you had to go to a gig, try and find somebody, speak to somebody, give them the CD and hope that they'd listen to it. Now, you know, you have to do a lot for the band. It's actually a full-time job if you really, really want to push yourself. But you can just reach out to people, send emails, keep sending emails, keep calling people. Calling is always very good, because to get reviews in a magazine, the guy may say, yeah, I'll review your album. 6 months later, there's still no review. So you write to them, you phone them, you write to them, you send a Christmas card, and you just have to be persistent. Persistence is the thing, and not get disheartened if somebody doesn't write back, because they probably get 1,000 emails a day. But you put your name out there, you try and push your name as much as you can, and sometimes you just get lucky. But it's not luck that just lands in your lap. You have to work hard to make your own luck. Like, we got into the first festival in Germany by me looking at a page saying that You Sent It played there, and I know that Crimson likes them, so I thought I'll check this festival out. And I wrote them an email saying, listen, it was a charity event, and I said, you know, we would love to support the cause. The guy actually listened to the stuff on MySpace, didn't even have to send a CD. Then he said, yeah, I like your stuff. And then I didn't hear anything, so I just sent him a Christmas email, nice message saying, you know, have a great Christmas, nice to hear from you. And in January we were booked for their next festival. And then things grow from there. And the music business may have changed, but people haven't really changed. The music business is actually quite small still on a personal level. And people like you to go up to them, to say hello, to thank them for doing a good sound, to introduce yourself to them. People like the human approach, because everybody's just sitting behind a screen, you don't have any human interaction anymore. And then what's the point of going out to tour?